thatmovieguyUK.
Annihilation is a film that I've been really looking forward to watching for over 3 years now. Alex Garland, who is one of the most intriguing screenwriters in cinema right now, from The Beach, 28 Days Later, Sunshine, Dread. He has made some very good screenplays, and eventually he made, obviously, one of the best sci-fis, I personally think, Ex Machina in 2015, and now Annihilation. He actually announced Annihilation, I would say, within a couple of weeks of Ex Machina being released, and I have been waiting a long time for this film. Maybe as a UK audience, any of my UK viewers, you will be asking, why the hell are we watching this on Netflix and stateside they get it in the cinema? Well, Scott Rudin and Paramount Pictures, if you don't know who Scott Rudin is, he is a big producer, massive, and he basically wanted Garland's final cut of the film to happen, which is the ending that we get here and obviously worldwide. And Paramount wanted a very dumbed down version because they felt like the audiences would not appreciate this ending, but we'll get to the ending in a bit. And because of this, international distribution became a minefield, and Netflix eventually took it. What is Annihilation about? It follows the story of Lena, who is a biologist slash former army military operative, who her husband has been missing for almost 12 months, who she also met in the army, and he was on a incognito mission. He comes back to the home and he doesn't seem himself. He's pretty lost. He doesn't know how he got there or anything, and he becomes ill and gets taken in an ambulance, and then the military interrupt and they take him and her. She eventually ends up in this quarantined area after a meteor actually hits a lighthouse, and a giant bubble of gooey lighty stuff takes over, and they don't really know what's in there. Previous missions have failed. Everyone's come out dead except for Oscar Isaac's character, Natalie Portman, and 4 other women now go inside the Shimmer to find out what's inside and to discover what's inside and what is actually going on. This film will definitely divide audiences because some people want to be spoon-fed, some people don't want to be spoon-fed. I am on this side, not that side, because I love challenging my mind and asking questions deep after the film has happened. I actually watched this film twice in one day, and you're going to say this now, oh my god, you watched it twice because you forced yourself to enjoy this film. I didn't do that. I really just wanted to watch it again because I was like, wow, I have so many questions that I still need to answer, and I just want to go back on scenes. I'm glad that Scott Rudin actually got the final cut for the film, because otherwise it would have been a disaster for me. I can see it would have been like a really happy ending for some reason, but this ending is really similar to maybe Inception. You're going to wonder, well, is she not, kind of stuff, and then you're going to question it. But this is the great thing, this opens discourse between film lovers, and you don't get that enough anymore. There's never a film where I'm like, well, you know, I have a few theories, you have a few theories, you have a few theories. This is one of them, and Annihilation is a question field of cinema, and I loved it. That's what I enjoy the most about Annihilation. And, you know, some people are having theories about cancer, some people have theories about how we are scared of, well, change and new things, because inside the Shimmer things are evolving into something, but is it good or is it bad? And it's our interpretation of what is good and bad and what is evil. So that's what I also enjoy about it. The cancer aspect is because Lena is a biologist, and she actually talks about cancer at the beginning, and she keeps mentioning the evolution of the Shimmer to be like tumours, and they're continuously changing, and, well, you'll see it in the film. As for a horror film, this is not exactly a horror film, but I will say that the scene in the cabin with that bear was absolutely horrifying. The voice of the bear, when you see the film you'll know what I mean, traumatized me. I can still hear that bear in my ear, and it gave me shivers, and I don't really get shivers very often, but that was horrifying. But I loved it. That scene is great. One of my favourite tense chamber scenes ever. And that was really interesting. There's a lot of blood and gore for some people. For some people. It wasn't too bad. It's not Cannibal Holocaust bad. But as for the narrative of the film, I really like how it's slowly paced. It really gives you breadcrumbs of information. Garland doesn't really divulge too much for you. Natalie Portman really gives a very strong performance in this film. I think she's just like the audience. She is baffled, and there are like silent moments, or there is simplified dialogue, but when you're thinking about what is going on around you, you do sometimes just go a bit, maybe. Just you're a bit slower, and I just really like her reactions. I like the way that she just drives this film forward. As for the rest of the cast, I really do think Jennifer Jason Leigh was a very interesting character, but I do wish she was slightly more developed. Oscar Isaac, he's such a vivid character most of the time, but this, he was like really dark, and he just like, I think he just went full gorilla sometimes, but he did actually film Annihilation at the same time as filming The Last Jedi, because it was in the same lot, so he was like jumping from Star Wars to Annihilation, so fair play to the guy. I do like when Isaac works with Garland, and I do hope that they will continue working together, because him in Ex Machina is just beautiful. That dancing scene, you know about the dancing scene, right? Well, go watch it. For the visuals of the film, it's very stimulating, it's very colourful, very vibrant, it's just a very, even though we're in a very bleak place, it's just a very beautiful scope of visuals. The cinematography is on point. There's no like Paul Greengrass like shaky camera or anything like that. It's just it's very flowing, and there's a nice rhythm to it. The score also is a very bleak score, and it doesn't rip off any like Shining or anything like that. There's no like stupid like synths or anything like that. It's just, it has a very different kind of feel to it. Very similar to how I felt with Under the Skin. I had so many questions after Jonathan Glazer's Under the Skin, which actually was my movie of the year in the same year that Ex Machina came out. And I do still question that film. I watch it quite a few times a year. And I would put them on the same kind of pantheon, even though I do prefer Under the Skin slightly a bit more. Annihilation is a very good film. It's a good self-destructive piece of the human variety. We question our faith, humanity, we question our science, our medicine, we question how we treat the environment, we question a lot of things. There are so much themes, big, gigantic themes in this about us as a race. It will just cause questions for many, many years, I would say. And I'm glad that I've been able to see it, even though I didn't see it in the cinema, but I can imagine that this film would be amazing in a cinema. So guys, have you seen Annihilation yet? It's obviously on Netflix in the UK right now. What do you think of Annihilation? Please comment below, message me, tweet me, anything you want. Just all the details are below in my social media. It's quite a busy week, by the way. There's reviews for The Square, Tomb Raider, and Mary Magdalene coming this week. So I'm going to do 4 reviews this week. Annihilation, tell me what you think. Let's talk about it. Let's talk to people about it. And as always, diolch, danke, obrigado, merci beaucoup, arigato, gracias, muchas gracias, de nada, arigato, diolch, 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 and I will see you in my next review. Never change.